July 1st, 2015. America is preparing to celebrate Independence Day, chugging tall boys, roasting wieners, smoking grass, and eating ass. The 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama, takes a long, cool drag from his cigarette, counting down the remaining days until he can rest on his laurels and produce Netflix documentaries. Real estate tycoon and reality TV show host Donald Trump announces his candidacy less than a month ago. There's no chance he'll win. No one has heard of the deadly global pandemic causing coronavirus. Unbeknownst to you, the black hole in the Milky Way galaxy's V404 Cygni system becomes energized with a flow of gamma rays and very brief, intense flashes of light. You're 24 going on 25. Life is good, and nothing bad is ever going to happen. Magic Mike XXL is released in movie theaters. Live from Toronto, it's the franchisees Magic Mike XXL Roundtable Discussion. Joining your hosts, Alex and Ben, are two very special and highly distinguished panelists, Mary Jane and Jesse. They've joined us here today to discuss one of the key works of American cinema from the 2010s, Magical Michael, Extra, Extra Large.
That was a great intro, Ben.
Thank you. Yeah. Welcome to the franchisees.
You worked all afternoon on it.
Yes, I wrote it this morning. Thinking, oh my God, I have to write something.
Yeah.
Or I'll be embarrassed.
No, it truly is like one of the great momentous occasions.
This is, yeah, it's
the moon landing.
The moon landing.
The Titanic.
Then a bunch of stuff didn't happen. Remember the crusty thing? Yeah. Man landed on the moon. Then a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. It's our first show with guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of freaked out, to be honest.
Yeah, we're
You're freaked out?
Well, here, you got to talk in the mic, bro.
You're freaked out?
Yeah. Who's that?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
This is Jesse. Hello.
This is Jesse. All right. And say hi.
Hi, this is Mary Jane.
It's Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are your guys' credentials?
Yes.
My credentials are that I've never spoken into a microphone ever in my entire life.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have autism. That's
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Yeah. Welcome to Crossfire.
Yeah.
Jesse is the conservative one, and MJ is the slightly less conservative one, and we're here to talk about.
And who are we?
Yeah, and we're here on Crossfire.
Yeah.
You're Tucker Carlson, and you're Alex Jones, and you're,
Oh my God. Yeah,
no, he wasn't on the show. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm just, who are we?
Who are we?
I'm going to be Joe Rogan.
Yeah, you're Joe Rogan. Who's the other Joe Rogan-y guy? Not entertained. Who's the other guy?
No one.
No one.
No one
I guess.
knows slightly.
Oh yeah.
You can be Jordan. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Jordan.
Yes, it is podcast canon.
Yeah.
I did tell the listeners that I was Jordan Peterson's mailman for close to 8 months during the pandemic.
And he was your mentor.
He was my mentor.
Took you under his wing.
He took me under his wing. He showed me
The world.
He showed me the world. He showed
The
me
meat catalogs.
Yeah, he showed me how to eat 100% meat, in a meat-based, subscription-based diet.
Yeah.
He showed me, I got in touch with my body in a way that I don't think I had ever before, under his strict, harsh tutelage.
Yeah.
He was my lover.
He was your Bronco Henry.
He was my Bronco Henry.
Oh,
Yeah. Now that he's dead, I take out my closeted gay rage on Cody Smith McPhee, friend of the pod.
Our friend of the pod and our good boy.
Yeah, one of the best boys we have going.
No, look, we know it's super intimidating to be here in the studio or the Thunderdome as we call it.
Yeah.
So we'll be gentle.
Yeah. That's great. That was so gross. Hey, ladies. Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
That was the bit.
That was the bit. Yeah. No, totally. And we thought we'd have guests on for Magic Mike XXL because it's an XXL movie. The themes are XXL. The fun is XXL. The horniness is XXL, right? All of the good stuff about the first movie is expanded. And all of the bad stuff, like the dud,
The dud.
the main character, the kid,
The kid, a.k.a. the dud.
a.k.a. the dud, he's gone.
Thank God.
Yeah. And
Unfortunately,
yeah,
Dallas is gone as well.
Matthew McConaughey's not in it, right? But
You can't win them all.
no.
He went to space.
Was he written out? Was he written out?
I'm not actually sure. I think maybe he was too far into the reconnaissance that he was like, "Listen, I'm doing my own things." He might
have
just
been
the
busy.
scheduling thing.
Yeah.
True
Yeah.
Detective.
Yeah, what else came out around that time in the McConaughey verse? Maybe he was like shooting Interstellar.
The McCussy.
Yeah.
What's going on?
That's my contribution to the podcast.
Yeah, well done.
It's paid out. You can leave now.
Okay, that's for the best.
You did
Yeah.
your job.
Listen, no one needs to be nervous. We can just
Like
we're
a
just
spider, we're
riffing.
more afraid of you.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
exactly.
I've already said
One of us.
McCussy, so I'm not nervous anymore.
That's great. Yeah, McConaughey was busy. He was too busy.
Alex Pettyfer was busy too.
Alex Pettyfer, yeah. The rest of Alex's Pettyfer's career is I'm too busy to be in movies.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not around.
He's building a deck.
Yeah.
He's building a deck and he's busy.
Yeah.
Well, he very well could have been making Interstellar because that came out the year before. And then 2015, The Sea of Trees is what he's making with Gus Van Sant, which
I haven't seen it.
isn't that the one that Aiden worked on?
Oh yeah, it would have
Yeah,
been.
yeah,
Because he a friend of ours who lives in Rhode Island, we went to university with, and he works as a script supervisor on movies. He told me this great story about he was working on this movie and he had to go to, I forget what the story is. I spoke to him on the phone the other week. Oh, God damn it. But yeah, he was telling me that he had to like go set up a TV at Gus Van Sant's house, and Matthew McConaughey was just there, and they had like a weird interaction. I'm not doing it justice. I can't remember what it was, but it was like really funny and surreal because it was Matthew McConaughey. He was like, "You setting up a TV?"
Yeah.
Just being like,
Do you bring a joint?
It'd
Be a lot cooler if you did. Yeah. As you know, loyal listeners of the podcast and esteemed guests, a lot of the show is us doing voices into the microphone.
Bits.
So please feel free to say it'd be a lot cooler if you did. You don't have to, but you know, or any voice you want to do.
Everyone has to say a McConaughey-ism into the mic.
I don't even know if I know one.
I want to do a non-obvious one.
I see that you have one. Sorry, I see that you have one.
I was just gonna repeat, and I can't.
Yeah,
do
go for it. No, go for it. No one's listening.
Uh,
No one's looking at MJ right now. Go ahead.
Be a lot cooler if you did.
That's pretty good.
It was like Matthew McConaughey was in the room.
Yeah, wait.
I opened my eyes
where
and
did MJ
I'm
go?
so disappointed that Matthew McConaughey is not here right now.
What?
I almost went for the one about young girls, but then I
Yeah.
thought it was too spicy.
Dottie, go get me some K-Frosty.
Yeah, that's a good one
Killer
too.
Joe one. I don't know if he
Killer
actually
Joe.
says that, but I feel like it could be.
something like
It could be in the movie.
It's probably in the movie.
Emil Hirsch, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
says
with
that.
good cause too.
Yeah.
All right, Magic Mike XXL. I don't even know where to begin.
Well,
What
you're
do you
moderating this one, right?
I'm
It's like-
yeah. Shit.
You,
Yeah.
you prepared, didn't you?
My notes are.
This is like one of your favorite movies. You wouldn't shut up about it, so.
I don't think I said it was one of my favorite
Okay.
movies. Oh no, you know what? I probably did. I'm gonna go back and clip it. It's like
Yeah.
Magic Mike 2 is like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would go that far, but I do think that it is one of the most fun movies to come out in like I don't know, like the past 30 years. It's just like there's just something about it. It's like effortless, which is really interesting, right? That they take Magic Mike, which is a lot of fun, right? And has a lot of like great dance scenes and a lot of, you know, Matthew McConaughey-isms and other things that add up to like a fun movie. But the first movie is weighted down by a lot of
The dud.
well, the dud who's like not very good and whose story is kind of like a downer,
It's a
right?
downer, yeah.
It's like his brief rise and then like fall into drugs and being like a shithead and whatever in the first movie, right? So yeah, he's a bit of a downer part of it. And then as much as I love Soderbergh, part of the reason the first movie is a little bit heavier is because he puts in a lot of heavier themes like the economic crisis and as Jesse can attest, as in most of Soderbergh's Speedy Soderbergh's
Speedy
work.
Soderbergh.
Yeah.
Yes, it's actually the only thing I remember about the first movie.
Yeah, and the girlfriend experience too. The companion film.
Yes.
Yes.
With our favorite actor, Sasha Grey.
Sasha Grey.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's very good in the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you should watch it. I think they made a girlfriend experience too. They made a TV show, so
Oh, interesting.
it counts. Yeah, and so it's not to say that like this movie is better because there's nothing substantial in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not that it's better because they don't talk about the economy.
They
or
do
about-
talk about the
They do
economy.
talk about the economy, and in a way, a lot of the characters are sort of in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the guys, like part of his crew, haven't really progressed. from the first movie.
Yeah.
Magic Mike is the one who went off and like actually did get his custom furniture store off the ground and like has a business now and has an employee and so on and so forth.
I would love an original Mike Lane piece.
Yeah.
I think they're not bad.
Yeah. Eventually, when we can get Patreon subscribers, we're going to do a fundraising thing to get a Magic Mike Lane coffee table
That'd be
for us
amazing,
to record. Yeah. Because right now we have a round table, which is very nice.
For the round table.
But yeah, by the way, the round table is at a round table. And
It's not an extra extra large round table.
No.
And I've never fit 4 people in here before. But it's working.
This is about as many people we could comfortably fit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want one more person
No,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's cozy.
Maybe a small person. Yeah.
Yeah, like a child or a
Yeah.
member of the Roloff
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Ravioli.
Yeah.
cat
Ravioli.
ravioli,
Yeah.
Shout outs to Ravioli. She wishes
Definitely.
she was in here for sure.
Definitely.
She's
She
on
was
the other
scratching
side of that
earlier.
door. Yeah. All the other guys in the crew. First of
Yeah.
all, like I do like that the dud's gone, the love interest is gone, and
Yes.
it kind of
Also a bit of a dud.
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But yeah, it kind of focuses more on the crew, and they're fun guys, and you get to learn a bit more about them, like what they're into, and that you find out that Kevin Nash's character Tarzan was in Desert Storm, like as a military vet,
Yeah.
which is like cool, I guess.
Yeah, very cool.
But they're all kind of coming to terms with the end of their male dancing careers, which is
Yes.
kind of interesting. And it doesn't get super like depressing or sad, but there are these like kind of moments of quiet existentialism where they're like, what are we going to do now? And one guy, Big Dick Ritchie, wants to make condiments, so like condiment packets that also come with condoms, and someone tells them that they already exist. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of quietly sad.
There's still this kind of like, struggle with creating and pulling off your specific American dream for yourself. And yeah, as you said, like they're getting older, they're aging out of their profession.
Mm-hmm.
And so Magic Mike XXL is like their one last big ride to travel to Myrtle Beach for the 2015 stripper convention.
Yeah, which we
is,
got to get tickets for.
We got to go. Yeah, next year we're going to be broadcasting the annual Magic Mike XXL Roundtable Discussion will be held in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, that's Virginia? Is that what that
yeah,
is? Myrtle
I think
Beach,
so.
Virginia? Does
I don't
that sound
know.
right?
Where do they go? They go through the Carolinas, and then
Maybe
where do
it's
they
in
end
one
up?
of the Carolinas.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
This is not an American show.
Yeah.
This is not Geography Cast. Well, we know how
Yeah.
Ben feels about the movie. What did you guys think?
That's pretty much right. I have more to say.
I figured, yeah.
Yeah, I do. But
I liked it. It was campy. It was horny. It was fun. I was gonna suggest that we go to a male strip club now as a
Yes.
field trip
yes,
together.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that would be really fun.
It would be fun. Unfortunately, Ben's going to see the new M. Night Shyamalan movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
well, we don't. I mean, we could change our plans and go to a strip club. Is there a male strip club
I
in Toronto?
think that the straight male strip club closed. I think it was called Remington's,
Yes,
and now it is closed, unfortunately. And I know that.
Sorry.
yeah. And
Is
why
this-
do you know?
Is this implying the existence of a gay male
Oh
strip
yeah,
club?
for sure. Like
Yeah.
Flash and stuff in the
Yeah.
village. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't think I've heard that they don't let women in, so I can't come if you guys go.
Interesting.
There's a
What if you dressed up?
Yeah. What if you went?
Sneak me into.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, dude. It's like not that hard. You can do
Yes!
it. Yeah.
Oh
That'd
my
be
god!
funny. Do you think if we got found out? Do you think you get in trouble? They would just ask
No,
you
they
to
wouldn't
leave.
find you out.
They wouldn't find you out.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. You can't just call out someone who you
They're
think
not-
is a trans person.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Make it work for you.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
dude, let's do that. That
Oh
sounds
my
great.
God.
Yeah. No, I did know that there were male strip clubs because our friend and also friend of the pod, Yuki, did research in strip clubs a while back. I remember that. Yeah.
There's one on Bloor, like, you know how at Bloor and Lansdowne there's just like a lot of furniture stores and then strange
House
strip
of
clubs.
Lansdowne.
Yes.
Yes.
House of Lancaster.
Lancaster, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
women on the first floor and men on the top.
Fox's Den.
Nice.
Foxes Den. Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone's
so-
done some research
yeah,
as well,
yeah.
apparently.
Okay.
I've
We-
just been there.
Yeah.
Was it good? Was it fun?
Sorry, I've only
Yeah,
been to
sorry.
the ladies section, like not to the Fox's Den. Excuse me.
Have you been to any male strip clubs?
No, that's why I want to go. Yeah,
Wow.
just
Okay.
to see.
We invited MJ on just as a guest and someone who, I didn't know that you were such a strip club expert, so now it actually makes total sense. Like, thank you. See, look how much we're all contributing here. We don't
I don't know. I
anything
barely have
about
to
it.
do anything.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jesse, what did you think about the movie?
I thought that.
You had seen it already too. You should-
Yeah, I had seen it, but I'd seen it a few years ago, so essentially I haven't seen it. I don't know. What did I think? I really liked Helmet Girl at the beginning. I thought she brought an interesting energy.
Yeah, shout out to Helmet Girl.
Yeah.
Who played
Yeah.
Helmet Girl?
She just kind of bouncing
Girl,
around.
Come on the pod.
That was Kate Blanchett.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. I really connected with her whole vibe,
Yeah.
especially headbutting the one guy.
Yeah.
I think that's how I would flirt with a man.
Sure.
I think I flirted with a man before like that in a past life.
Yeah.
Um,
Krav Maga style.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, Helmet Girl. I'm scared by how attracted to men I am. Not in like a it's embarrassing to be attracted to men way, just like my capacity for being horny for just any man is huge.
It is embarrassing though.
I don't know if I believe that.
Oh really? Okay, well, I'm embarrassed.
That's fair.
But-
That's fair.
You know, and let me just go on a really quick rant here, but isn't it actually more embarrassing for like guys to be embarrassed to be like horny for women? You know, it's like in like today's day and age, right? It's actually like guys can't just be like horny with other guys about ladies anymore because it's like sexist and because we have to like dismantle, right, the patriarchy. You know what I mean? Isn't that fucked? You ever think about that?
All the
Joe?
time. Yeah, Joe.
Rogan?
Yeah, I was skinning an elk the other day. I was rock hard. And I was like, I can't talk to anyone about this.
I was jerking off in my isolation tank the other day. And I started to breathe water.
That's how you float, actually, the semen.
Yeah.
Saline
Yeah.
content.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's been forever since I've ogled women. It's terrible. It's no way to live.
It's no way to live. Yeah. Yeah. Alex and I decided to live a life of piety.
Celibacy.
Celibacy. Yeah. We're in line.
Voluntarily.
Yeah.
I was going to say vol or in.
Yeah. Voluntary. Alex and I are both vol cells, which is a huge distinction. A huge distinction that must be made. We are not weird. This is not some alt-right incel podcast.
Yeah.
This is a
Weird in its own way.
yeah. This
In
is
a harmless way.
A far left communist vol cell podcast.
Hell yeah. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
What would your male strip club name be? Out of curiosity.
The club. Oh my God.
That's the name?
Mine.
Oh no.
That's a
No,
cool
it is,
name.
it is.
Yeah. Like,
That's
that's the
a
name
cool
you give your
name. Ben
dick?
the Club. Yeah.
Sorry, did you mean my
Anyone can
like
answer,
your
yeah.
your name, like the strip?
Or no,
stripper
what would
name
your
or
stripper name?
what would your stripper name be, and
Right.
what would your like shtick be? You know, because like Tarzan's obviously a jungle man. Channing Tatum is just really hot and a good
He
dancer.
can do anything. Yeah.
Tito had like the candy shop routine and stuff.
Yeah.
I would be banging Taintman
Okay.
instead of Channing Tatum.
Oh, Channing Tatum.
Yeah, but banging
Taintman.
Taintman.
Banging Tate. Yeah.
Men.
Tateman.
Yeah.
I like how you worked taint into there.
Yeah.
I'll work on it a bit more.
No, it was
Okay.
good.
But thank you. Yeah, my shtick would be enacting scenes from 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, of course.
That's
Yes. I could be
good.
your Jonah Hill sidekick.
Oh yeah, you could be
who's-
Bona.
Yeah,
Bona-
Boner Hill.
Boner Pill.
Yeah, Boner Pill. That's
Boner
yeah,
Pill.
yeah. Okay, so instead of
There
Jonah
we
Hill,
go. We figured it out.
his name is Boner Pill, and he does. It's okay. Everyone's okay. His name is Boner Pill. Just like the real Jonah Hill. And just like the real Jonah Hill, he makes a feature-length documentary about his therapist.
Oh.
That's his strip club name. Because, like Magic Mike XXL, he's sensitive. And this is all about positive masculinity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really positive. I like how all the like big burly dudes, you know, go to a drag show and it's like it's not a thing or anything. It's just what they do.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like normalizing it, you know, normalizing it for like hyper masculine. I was actually thinking the other day,
Totally.
we went from doing the most masculine franchise of all time, Die Hard,
Yeah.
to doing
Yes.
the most masculine franchise of all time, Magic Mike.
Yes, and in the most masculine franchise of all time, Die Hard, his masculinity is only achieved through redemptive violence. Yeah, through
And making sure
extreme
his
violence.
wife and his children adopt his last name.
Yes,
They're
it's
not Gennaro's,
yes,
they're McLean's.
yes. His wife has her own career lifestyle and has changed her name from McLean to her maiden name Gennaro, and he's a little miffed at that, you know, because he's kind of a traditional guy. And then in the Magic Mike movies, the most
Masculine franchise of all
time. Yeah, we have a much more nuanced and positive sort of view of what masculinity can be. Because like you said, these guys are, I think maybe not so much in the first movie, maybe because they don't explore it quite as much.
You don't get as much of them.
You don't really get as much of them, yes. You don't really know what they're like. But in this movie, we see like 4 or 5 sort of examples of them being like extremely comfortable with who they are as men, like both in how they talk to each other, but also in how they like talk and treat women. And it's kind of, I mean, I don't want to, you know, like say it's some like cultural masterpiece or anything, but it kind of is.
Cultural masterpiece.
Oh yeah, like you know, it's a really beautiful movie about what like the good side of being like a broy kind of hyper masculine guy.
You know, in that way,
Could be,
you know
right?
what it reminded me of?
Yeah.
Everybody Wants Some, the spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused, because
Yes.
Everybody Wants Some is about all these guys who play baseball for their college in 1980 Texas, and like, but there's no like cliche interpersonal drama. Everybody gets along. At the end, they go to a drama kids party, and like everyone gets along there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's a utopian view of like bros and the theater kids and athletes. The only drama in Everybody Wants Some is Wyatt Earp. Not Wyatt Earp. What's his name? Wyatt
Yeah,
Russell.
Wyatt Earp, yeah.
Getting kicked from the team because he's actually like 40 or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's a very like, you know, holding hands, everybody getting along, and it's feel good.
Yeah.
It's totally.
Yeah,
it reminded me a lot of that.
I think the Magic Mike XXL is a little easier to believe though. Like I remember I like watching that Everybody Wants Some, and you're like, this is amazing, because I thought it would be the opposite.
Yeah.
And then like after the movie's over, I was like, wait a minute, like that wouldn't.
It's kind of a fantasy.
Like. Yeah, it is.
The movie ends with a guy like falling asleep in his class. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it does have
yeah.
like a bit of a dreamy.
Totally.
But I guess like Frosh Week, 1980, Texas. Maybe it was a dreamy time.
Well, yeah, it might have been a little harsher. Might have had a couple more edges on it than that movie. But no, it's totally like that. The cinematic equivalent of guys being dudes. Nothing better than that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually good, you know? Yeah. Most times we see movies about guys being dudes, they're killing people, right? Like in Die Hard. Yeah, he's a pretty doodly guy, but he goes around expressing it through violence.
And the last one with his son.
Yes.
Father and son bonding.
Yep,
Murdering
exactly.
Russians. No, I liked it. Can I be like the like, you know, devil's advocate and you guys all hate on me and flame me and stuff?
Dude, yeah, of course.
Can I flex my privilege a bit?
Yeah.
Not that it has anything to do with my opinion.
That's what the show is all about. Having a podcast is flexing your privilege.
That's true, yeah. I thought it was good. I did think you overrated it a bit.
Wow. Wow.
I felt like it was maybe like missing some of the And I know like Steven Soderbergh had his fingers in this pie. He had many fingers in this pie. He again like
yes, so
shot
speak,
it,
as we say.
so to speak.
Yeah.
He edited it. To me, it kind of didn't have as much of that Soderberghian flair to the direction, like just the way scenes were kind of like shot and blocked and stuff like that. Though until the end, when they get to the convention, it does dial up the heat, and I loved it. And I love the musical routines that they do at the end. But there are parts in the middle that are like, you know, talking parts, which there were in the first one. But for some reason in this one, like they just felt a bit like they dragged on a bit for me. Like there's definitely more jokes in this one, and I like that the dud's not there.
Yep.
But it wasn't like...
We really didn't like the dud.
Yeah. Is that his name from the first one?
No,
They call the kid.
They call him the kid.
His name's
yeah.
Adam, and they call him the kid.
Okay.
But we call him the dud.
They don't like him.
He's a total dud, yeah.
Yeah, he's like in
It's
this...
not that he isn't cute or whatever. It's just that...
No, he's hot as shit.
Yeah, he just like sucks.
He's in Macau.
He's in Macau.
He's in Macau with Dallas. Yeah, they went to Macau to do a show. I don't know why Dallas would pick the dud out of all people.
Yeah. I think probably because he's the easiest to manipulate.
Yeah,
right?
true.
Yeah. Right? Because Dallas was not an example of positive masculinity. He was a male manipulator,
Wow.
a gaslighter. Yeah. Yeah. You know what we do to gaslighters on this show?
We
killed him.
Yeah. I don't know.
but yeah, I just thought it didn't have as much of that visual pizzazz until like the end part, and like a bit, you know, the scenes where they go to the kind of like brothel type house that Jada Pinkett runs are like very cool, and there's a lot of like attitude and flavor in those scenes. But there are parts, I guess I wish it was like funnier on a minute to minute basis or something like that, or a beat by beat basis. Like I liked it a lot, but I don't think it's like head and shoulders above number one.
Okay.
I think they're both really good movies. Now feel free to flame me.
Well,
this is the filing cabinet of torture.
Yeah, we
so there's like lots of fucked up shit in there.
Good.
So you're more in line with the Rotten Tomatoes consensus.
Oh.
It got a 65%.
No.
Which, as we know, you know,
Wow.
doesn't mean anything. Like Rotten Tomatoes is one of the most meaningless websites on the internet. That's right. I said it. I'll say it again
Wow,
too.
this is controversial.
Yeah. This is the consensus. Magic Mike XXL has enough narrative thrust and beefy charm to deliver, get it? Thrust, beefy? Yeah.
Charm.
Harm.
Can't spell charm without harm.
Yeah, charm. To deliver another helping of well-oiled entertainment, even if the sequel isn't quite as pleasurable as its predecessor.
See, I think it's actually more pleasurable. It's
Absolutely.
more like
Yeah.
candy, like...
Yes.
But I thought like just functionally it felt a bit slighter.
Well, I mean, it is slighter in like what I was talking about at the beginning, where it doesn't have you know, the dramatic arc of like the first movie with the sort of rise and fall of this kid character and everybody's dream, all these transactional relationships, and everybody's American dream being like crushed again and again and again.
I'd say like the main thesis about this woman is like about this movie. Is the thesis is about giving women what they want. Like multiple times they talk about like asking women
pleasure
and pleasuring women.
Yes.
And actually pleasure for all.
Pleasure for all. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, I mean, it's okay that you didn't like it as much.
I liked it. I did like it.
It's okay that you hate pleasure.
Yeah,
that
female pleasure.
Yeah, it's okay that you prefer the stodgy, old-fashioned, sexist, racist original movie, and you hate the cool, progressive new movie.
Yeah.
I admire it. Actually, you called it quiet progressivism, and I do admire that aspect. You know, them, again, like going to queer bars or hanging out and being very comfortable with their sexuality and very encouraging of one another, too.
Yeah.
They gyrate indiscriminately.
They do.
Yes.
All types of body sizes, you know, body types all get love. Like, I do appreciate that about it. And it's not like it's drawing attention to itself.
No,
like,
and I think that's one of the best parts about it, too, is that a lot of like modern movies will they'll do something that is, you know, I don't know, quote unquote progressive or like forward thinking or something, and then they'll say, like cool of us to do that, right? Like check this out, like this is, you know, and they'll give themselves a little pat in the back. But this movie isn't really about that.
Yeah, in that regard, it reminded me of Paranorman.
Yeah, kind of, right?
Film,
Yeah.
where the Casey Affleck character is just like, oh, my boyfriend will love this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, there you go.
Yeah. Although, I mean, that's another thing where it's kind of like they have it at the very end to be like,
And
see?
it's a quick
Like,
moment.
Yeah, it's a little quick, yeah. But still better than the Disney thing where it's like, like for months before a Disney movie will come out, they'll be
Hey,
like,
there's a gay character.
this is the first like exclusively gay Disney character, and then it's like
And
some
there's
guy.
oh, look,
Credits.
it's gay Bob.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
and you never see him again.
Yeah.
Like,
It's some guy, he'll look over at another guy like, I like you. And that's the whole thing. You're like, wow, it's so gay.
although I do gotta say, I never seen it before, but I watched Zootopia last night.
Oh, yeah.
Furry bait.
Yeah,
Yeah, all cops are bastards,
Yeah.
including that bunny.
no. So
Yeah.
in my Letterboxd review, I wrote ACAB, all cops are bunnies.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Clever, right?
Yes, very clever.
But I was actually surprised by how much it's about racial. It's just straight up about racial stereotyping. Like it's
Yeah,
not like
it
a
is.
metaphor.
It
Like it's
really
about
is.
racial stereotyping.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I'm sorry.
No, you go, please.
You're the guest.
You're the guest.
I was just gonna say I watched Zootopia about 5 times in December because I was home for the holidays and there was a 2-year-old around,
Yeah.
Oh.
and I was watching it and I was like, yeah, I forgot how copy it is. That's all.
Yeah. No, totally.
It's a straight up cop movie.
Yeah.
It's like Cop Out.
It is like Cop Out. Yeah. Do you think that the repeated watchings of Zootopia has
Affected
your niece?
Yeah, how do you feel about the police on the TTC?
Yeah,
now? Are you for or against?
Yeah. Do you think that it's giving her a warped perception of like what police are like and also what racism is like between different species of animals?
I definitely made sure to tell her multiple times that this is propaganda.
Yes.
She's 2, so she doesn't speak English yet. But
What
you
if
know,
her
it's
first
so-
words were propaganda?
Yeah,
You'd be
I knew
proud,
that.
right? Yeah.
She mostly just really loves Gazelle,
Mm.
and that's all. It's
Yeah.
just it's just the singer. Anyway, this is
Shakira,
about
played by
this is about
Shakira.
Magic Mike, not about
Yeah, yeah.
not
No,
about
it's about
Zootopia.
everything. It's about everything.
Shakira, yes.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Shakira. Shakira,
Yeah, of
if you
course.
want to come on the pod, please come on.
yeah. You want to do a theme song for our pod? Yeah.
Lavanja.
yeah. Waka Waka franchisees. Yeah, I hate that song.
What song is that?
That's her World Cup. That's her like World Cup song, right?
Oh.
Her Waka Waka Africa song.
I
It's
only
terrible.
know Hips Don't Lie and
Yeah, that's good. Song.
She-Wolf.
That's good.
oh yeah, true.
Great
Yeah,
song.
that's good stuff. Yeah.
She's incredible. Welcome to Shakira Cast.
Yeah.
Podkira.
Pod Kira.
Yeah.
Yeah. The world's first Shakira and Akira podcast. Yeah. Tetsuo.
Bravo.
Yeah, anyway, what are we talking about? Magic Mike XXL, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. What do our guests think about the idea that, like, in comparison to the first movie, do you think this movie is substantially better? Do you think it's only marginally better? Do you agree with the boring Rotten Tomatoes / Alex consensus,
Okay.
or the cool hip
Correct.
Ben consensus?
I would give them both a really solid, good rating.
Yeah, for sure. They are both good movies. But I don't know. Do you think this is like substantially better? And MJ, you watched the first one recently as well, right? So
Yes.
you have a more recent, what do you think?
Okay. So yeah, I watched the first one this week to prepare for today.
God bless you.
Yeah,
Well
I'm
done.
really invested in
Well
this
done.
podcast.
You invested more than Ben did. You're gonna have like a whole set of questions and moderate and stuff.
He
and
does.
debate.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I'm asking them right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I liked both of them. I think I maybe like this one better just because it was leaning a little bit more into being just like fun, which is cool with me.
Yeah.
Versus like, yeah, the first one, like you said, it was about him kind of wanting to like leave the industry and he's disenfranchised, but then we discover in this one that he missed it and he like wanted to go back, which I'm
Yes.
very down for.
Yes, and one of the best scenes from the movie, the guys have told him what's going on, how Dallas and the kid ran away with the money and whatever else, and how they're gonna organize one last trip to Myrtle Beach for the stripper convention. Magic Mike's like, I don't know if I can really do this. I got my custom furniture business. So he's there, he's working on his custom furniture. And what song comes on the radio?
Could you believe it? On
Could you?
Spotify.
On Spotify, yeah, crazy. Pony by Genuine.
Yeah.
His song, Magic Mike's song. And
I'm going to have it learned on the jaw harp for the next
it's gonna be
episode.
good. It's going to be really
Yeah.
good. And in one of the great scenes of cinema history, he cannot help himself from dancing, from doing his old routine to Pony. And as soon as you see it, like you see that look in his face, it's like, he's back, baby. There's no way he can't join the boys for one last trip.
And the way that he like collapses on top of his like carpentry desk, and he's like just like giggling to himself, like I'm just like such a silly little goose. You know?
Yeah. He's so crazy. Cute. I love him.
And there's a great moment of physicality because he's welding first.
Oh,
and the song comes on. He's got that big welding mask. You can kind of almost see through the mask. Like his head starts bobbing. He starts getting into it. Yeah. It is a lovely little moment.
Yeah.
Again, I thought it was shot kind of flatly. Like I would have liked a bit more.
Yeah.
I was too busy paying attention to his like greased up body, and the way that he like thrusted and drilled into the desk at the same time.
Drilled. Literally, he's holding a drill, which is kind of dangerous when you're bumping and grinding to be.
He had full control.
That's why you got to be self-employed, so you can do all the dangerous shit around. No one's gonna call us or whatever. Yeah,
totally. HR, no problem.
Until he accidentally circular saws off his.
Yeah, and so he's back for one last go of it, but of course it wasn't.
But that's not his last dance.
No, because now however many years later, he's back for one last movie. But it's just as far as I know, Magic Mike's Last Dance in theaters February 10th is just him. It's like him and
they're not listed in the cast.
I don't think the crew is back, so I think it's like he gets invited to do one last residency at like a theater of some kind. With Salma Hayek.
I hope they let us know what the crew's up to. Like, just like a little line that they're all doing really well.
Yeah.
They're all actually.
Everybody's fine.
Ken's on Broadway.
Yeah.
Big Dick Rich.
Yeah. He's with the MILF.
He's with Andy McDowell.
Yeah. And her cavernous vagina that can take all of his inches.
Yeah.
I like that. They were like, how many? And
he's like, all the way, baby. Yeah.
I like that they paid attention to how hard it is to have like a really big dick.
Yeah.
As someone who suffers from this, we don't get enough representation in cinema. I have to say.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah, and it's funny too because it's like it's also sweet, like it's like penis stuff in like mainstream American comedies. It's either like a joke about it. Like too big or too small, or it's weird looking, or whatever it is, right?
It's usually small dick joke. There was no small dick jokes. It's awesome.
It's usually part of like like some sort of like joke about it, and there is a bit of a joke about it, like that he can't, like when they set it up, right? But the fulfilling of the joke is like the way that they treat it, and the way that the guys are all like happy for him. It's like very sweet, right?
And he gave a woman what she wanted,
Yeah, and like
what she needed.
Yeah. And in return, she
gives him a Rolls Royce.
Exactly. Yeah, sex work is real work.
Of course.
Yeah. So and it's like a road trip movie. So we were talking about that. They're in the Carolinas. They end up at a giant mansion owned by Andy McDowell and all her other MILF wine moms.
That was a bit of a weird scene.
Yeah.
So they go to this house because they'd met the daughters earlier. They partied with them at one of those like Tampa like beach parties. But it's not a beach. It's
sandbar party.
Sandbar party. Yeah. That's it. And then they walk into this house and they're like, Emma, or whatever her name was, like, where are you? And then it turns out all the moms are there too. Megan.
Yeah.
Megan, yes.
And it's like, so it's this weird scene, which I loved, of like these male strippers flirting with both the daughters and the moms.
Yep.
And I was like, is this going to become like a mother-daughter orgy? It doesn't. But like some of them.
On screen anyways.
Yeah. Like Big Dick Rich gets lucky, at least, gets to finally plunge his meat sword.
Full
tilt.
Full
hilt.
Up to the hilt.
Up to that. That's
up to the hilt.
Thank you.
Sheathe. He gets to
yes. Thank you.
Yes.
In Andy McDowell's scabbard.
Yes. Old English for vagina was a sheath,
anyway.
as we learned in.
But it's a weird scene, right? Am I right? It's a bit of a weird scene.
Yeah. And then the one before that, where they're with meeting Jada Pinkett at her also like very unique scene, like this like big Southern kind of like brothel slash boudoir slash
For women.
burlesque show for women. Yeah, that's all focused on that's like, and then that's where she says subscription based pleasure, which I like quite a bit. That presumably these women like pay like a monthly or yearly fee. I wish they got into the fee breakdown.
I know.
Monthly, yearly, bi-weekly.
How often do you go? Is it open Monday to Monday to Sunday?
What's included in the fee?
Yeah.
Right?
What are the hours like?
What are the hours like?
Is there an upstairs?
I think do you get upstairs,
They're
downstairs
downstairs.
privileges? Yeah. How many bathrooms are they? Are they accessible? Yeah.
Exactly.
Are drugs allowed? Et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, drugs are allowed.
Yeah.
They
would be.
Maybe you could snort the drugs off the strippers.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, that's more of a Magic Mike 1 thing where they're like, oh no, drugs are bad. Even in this one, when they get into their kind of like, well, drugs are kind of can be treacherous. Like it's sort of set up as like, wow, this is like a pretty serious thing. They all do MDMA and they're driving off from having fun. And
Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias,
who's driving the
Tobias.
van while he's rolling.
Well, they're all having a moment. They're holding hands,
yeah.
and he's driving, and he's still trying to get in on this like good vibes.
And he closes his eyes and just like drifts off and crashes the van and gets a concussion and is out of the movie for most of it, which makes sense. I mean, they had to find a way to get Fluffy, out.
Well, so Jada Pinkett can MC for them at the big convention.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But then Fluffy comes back at the end to let him know, like, oh, he survived.
Yeah, he's okay. He didn't die
Car
in
crash.
Florida. Yeah.
His body wasn't eaten by gators.
Yeah. But yeah, like so, like the perils of like MDMA use in the first movie are like pretty serious. Like he gets into selling drugs and he's high all the time and he's like miserable. And he overdoses at one point and almost chokes on his own vomit and all that other stuff. And in this movie, it's like you get high in MDMA and you crash your car and like, it could kill all your friends. But
it's okay.
It's okay. It's all good.
Go check in with Jada.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Yeah, they got to swap their truck for a Rolls Royce. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of worked out. Yeah.
Do drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drugs are okay.
Yeah.
Dope Donald Glover cameo during the Jada Pinkett Smith scenes.
Yes.
At the brothel.
Yeah.
Because it's like not young Donald Glover, but like
younger than he is now.
Yeah. Before
Guaranteed.
like peak Donald Glover, like he's probably on the come up when this movie came out, and he still looks like a fresh faced young man.
Yeah, it's before Redbone and what's the other song? This is America. Yeah.
We were joking around that he's about to like perform for a woman, and he's about to sing, and it'd be funny if he started going like, "Guns in my area."
I got a strap. I gotta carry him. Yeah.
Stay woke.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Lots of fun cameos, actually.
True. Yeah. And he could have said "stay woke" and he would have been accurate because sorry, all of our right wing listeners, this movie is woke.
Yeah.
Sorry. You heard it here first from the white guy. This is the wokest movie we've covered. This is the wokest movie we've covered.
Yeah, I would say so.
Paranormal Activity.
This followed by Paranorman.
Yes, followed by the Paranormal Activity series, which is like stay woke, go surreal.
Yeah, stay woke, don't sleep.
Stay woke. Yeah, do not go to bed. That's when the ghosties come.
That's good. I wish Donald Glover had a cameo in the Paranormal Activity movies.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
As a ghost or as
himself,
as a haunted person?
Yeah, it would just be funny if it was as himself, and they brought him in to try to help, and he was like, "Oh, I can't do
One
anything."
of them takes place in Atlanta, and he's like, "I'm scouting for my TV series."
True,
Yeah.
I still have to watch season 3.
Oh
I
yeah,
have it downloaded.
Season 3 is weird. Remember season 3 of Atlanta?
Yes,
It's
I do.
weird.
Why is it weird? The whole show's kind of weird.
Yeah, well,
But it gets like even weirder. I feel like it loses its.
It loses it, but then season 4 comes right back.
The essence comes back.
Yeah,
There you go. You heard it here first.
that's Atlanta cast. Yeah,
Atlanta cast.
yeah. So,
Any more questions?
well, yeah, I've got a couple more. I think so much of non-professional amateur film talk, which is what this is, right? Let's be honest. We're
Speak
not.
for yourself.
I'm
not
chief
getting-
film critic of.
Yeah, of the Atlantic.
Was that it?
Yeah. I'm junior vice president of the Atlantic, the worst magazine in America.
I'm chief film critic for the Pacific.
Cool. Yeah. Pacifically speaking, I'm. This is terrible. We really lost it now. No, I was just gonna say, so much of what people talk about today when they're talking about movies, and all types of movies, right, is vibes, you know? And I know that's just like a trendy word to say anyway, which is funny whenever you're watching something from the 60s or 70s and some guy's like, great vibes, man. You're like, oh, that sounds like wrong. But you remember, like, it's an old crunchy word, right? But yeah, people talk about vibes a lot. And I've been guilty of that myself too. When someone's saying like, "Oh, I don't know how to approach this movie, this like an older movie or a movie that's like very slow or has kind
This
of a
Bellatar
drone."
movie.
Yeah, sure.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure I would have said.
It's just
before
funny
we
to
watched-
use such like a casual, like colloquial modern term to describe like
Yeah,
Werkmeister.
giant work of art, like a epochal work of.
It's the vibe, baby.
Well, I'm pretty sure I did say something along those lines before we saw Werkmeister Harmonies. Where it's like I hadn't seen it, but I'm pretty sure if we just vibe with it, it'll be fine. Yeah. And was I wrong?
No,
No.
I loved it.
Sometimes the best thing people can do is just to vibe with a movie and let it wash over
Catch a
them and
vibe.
stuff, right?
I think
Yeah.
that's what they call it.
So what I'm going to say is, do you think this movie has good vibes? It's a real, it's a real softball. It's a real softball.
Yeah.
Don't answer that.
I mean, we stopped and talked for like a while about these like vibey chairs they had.
Oh my
So,
God,
the
yeah.
light up chairs and the practicality of the light up chairs and the,
Jada Pinkett had furniture that looked like it had lights built inside of it. It was at Jada Pinkett's place, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Best vibes of anywhere in the movie, probably.
100%.
Right?
I think
Yeah.
I said out loud, yeah, this is vibey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
See, we're all guilty of it. It's
Though
okay.
could cause burns to your ass.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
sit on
yeah.
them for too long. You can only sit on the light up couch for like 15 minutes tops.
It depends on what material your pants are made of, too.
Yeah, true. Or if you're wearing shorts.
Yeah, you
It
can't
is
wear shorts.
the South.
Yeah. It's true. It's hot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that was a good question. Yeah.
I think it's vibey for sure.
Well, of course it is. I mean, that's kind of I was mostly joking. Like, it is a total vibes movie because it's like the reason this movie works is because it's just getting together a bunch of people who like with a little bit of conflict and a little bit of like whatever, you know, personal stuff between them. But for the most part, they're just there to like
Take off their shirts.
take off their shirts.
Dance in a convenience store.
Yep.
For a poor, unsuspecting woman.
Who looks a lot like Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
From like when she's looking down.
until
Yeah.
she looked up.
Yes. Yeah, that
was a great
is
scene.
Yeah.
that's Big Dick Richie's first part of the quest. He's like, you have to go into this like
Get your mojo back.
Florida convenience store and you have to make Amy Schumer smile.
Yeah.
Which is so hard because she's such a
She's such a frigid
she's
bitch.
yeah, exactly. I see. I wasn't allowed to say it.
Well, she dated Anthony Jeselnik, right?
Yeah,
you
that's
have
right.
to be fucked up to do that.
Yeah.
Pretty cute
Yeah.
though.
Oh,
He
he's
is-
so hot.
yeah.
In high school, he was like the peak of my humor.
Yeah, I used to think he was really funny too. Back
Oh
when I was
yeah.
younger. Yeah,
too.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
was
seen
always a
any of
boy,
his
you
shit.
know? And like,
yeah, I know.
I've
yeah.
always been a boy.
yeah.
Sorry, that's my credentials. My credentials is I'm trans. So.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna get to that.
Oh, right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, let's just get-
I
let's-
thought
yeah.
I thought our credentials were that we are thirsty, the thirstiest.
Yes, yeah,
and we
yeah.
needed to bring
We're-
people on who are going to appreciate Magic Mike for what it is.
Definitely.
And be
Yeah.
thirsty
Ben and
for
I
it.
ain't thirsty
Yeah.
enough? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
what? Yeah, I'm. Hang on.
I didn't see you guys slobbering over Richie's
Yeah.
big dick, screaming at the movie to show us.
Well, you
asking
should've-
for circumference sizes.
Yeah.
You should have been there during the first movie where you actually see him pumping up his dick in the foreground.
He
and it's
pumps
kinda-
it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and,
yeah,
and like
I
the
mean,
kid's just kind of
he's-
side-eyeing
yeah.
it, and it's like kind of blurry in the foreground. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you should have been there. I was like, Ben!
Yeah, we
Ben,
pointed
you
to
see
that.
that?
Yeah. And we went. yeah,
Well, you know what? I did.
yeah. Hubba hubba.
Yeah.
Hachi machi. Alex kept saying hachi machi.
It's true. It's my
It's his
catchphrase.
catchphrase.
Have you guys ever had a catchphrase?
Not one I'm willing to repeat
No.
here.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
I tried to make a catchphrase work in high school. I
Oh,
tried,
really?
Yeah, it was "Skeer chow." So I'd like
Oh,
slide into.
no.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, cut it out.
No, that's funny.
No.
Isn't that like a comic book character's?
Skeer chow.
Yeah, it sounds like a comic panel, like Boof or like you know.
Oh, boof. Yeah. Well, that was the idea. It was like me and my friends, we would get like really high, and the bit was like, wouldn't it be funny if people had catchphrases in real life because
course.
people don't. So then I was like, I'm going to try to do one. And it was screw chow. So picture me just sliding into a room. But I'm not very graceful at all.
Yeah.
But going, screw chow, everybody.
Did you actually do that?
Like once or twice. But like for that group, they knew the bit and we had a laugh. And then it didn't take.
Yeah. Yeah, I think our group of friends in high school probably also had a phase where we did things like that. Like, the Sunken State Boys.
Yeah, I know.
Wait,
we went to high school together.
Yeah.
The,
who are the Sunken State Boys?
Oh wow, there's so much lore in our
Yeah.
our lore.
Do you want to tell Alex what Sunken State is?
I don't
Feed
know.
me, I love lore. I love Ben Lore.
Yeah.
Ben and I went to high school together, and you were, I think, 4 years older than. You were 4 years old. You are 4 years older than me, so we weren't really
Maybe.
like.
You closed the
friends.
gap a
Yeah,
bit.
no, we weren't friends.
4 years?
Yeah,
I
like
guess
you
so.
were in
No, yeah.
12 and going 9, whatever.
Right.
And you would make movies with your friends, and you guys called yourself Suckin' State. And
Yeah.
I watched them all, which is like so. Anyway,
Were they good?
I mean, in the 9th grade, I thought they were really good.
At the time.
Wait, Sunken State or Second State?
Sunken State was the name of our like filmmaking group, like the Lonely Island.
Okay.
We were Sunken State, and
That's funny.
yeah, we didn't make a whole lot of movies, and like a lot of them haven't survived. Some for good reason
Yes.
have been buried.
Cancelable.
Yeah,
content.
so some of
We love that. What's the best bit that you had that you're willing to repeat?
I'm looking at MJ because I'm like I don't really know. Like what was what's something you remember from it?
What's your favorite color? Mine's periwinkle.
Wait, is that from the Cartographers one? Yeah.
The Cartographer? Your comedy sketch was called The Cartographer?
It was called the new Cartographers,
like the new pornographer? That's
yeah,
funny.
that's one that I'm not in.
It's also so offensive.
Yeah, and it's one that at the time I was like upset that I wasn't in because I was like I think I was at summer camp or something, and then when I came back and saw the movie, I was like, oh, it's probably best I wasn't in that
Oh,
one
holy shit.
because there's some racism in it. It's okay. It's okay to admit it now. The high school films,
Yeah.
some of them were racist. That one in particular.
We all
But
have
I
things
wasn't
we
involved.
regret.
I wasn't involved in it, so I don't regret it because
Yeah.
I wasn't involved.
High school was a rough time.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's
Well,
fast.
Burnham did it, So there you go.
What
Sure.
did he do?
Oh, just make racist videos.
Oh.
But then he made that song apologizing. Well, not apologizing for it. He made that song saying that he did it, and now it's okay.
Yes, and he made our favorite stand-up special of all time, Inside, where he was like, the pandemic was so hard for me. I had to spend all this time inside. We're all inside, and it's like, yeah, you're inside your fucking
Guest
mansion.
house.
Yeah,
No, he's
yeah,
in his guest house,
yeah,
like-
with your girlfriend and your dog, and you're like, you can do whatever you want, and you don't have it very, I don't know, whatever.
When I found that out, it kind of killed the vibe for me. But
Yeah,
the
it does a
funny
little
songs are still kind of funny.
Are they?
And he made 8th Grade. That's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Eighth grade
was
is a good
good.
I have
movie.
a sick segue. Can I say it?
Yeah, do
Yeah.
I was
it.
gonna say, with his girlfriend who directed the female Magic Mike Hustlers.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
is that his girlfriend?
Yeah.
That is that.
Lord Scarfari, I want to
Oh yeah, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That really is the female Magic Mike.
I'm bringing it right back
Yeah.
to strippers.
Well done.
Which is
Good.
what I came here to talk about.
There, keep
Yeah.
it there.
Yeah, visually too, very similar sort of movies, like similar sort of lighting and so on, and kind of style, like maybe more so to the first one, and with a bit of a crime element to it. Like
never seen
they
it.
drug people with ketamine and stuff.
Well, that's what I thought the Sunken State Boys were. We're just like guys in high
Bring
school
girls
doing
into a sunken
ketamine
state.
and just
Suck
like...
in place.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that's the vibe
Yeah.
I got. Like just do ketamine and just disassociate and be like, I feel sunken, man. How sunk are you?
Yes,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sunk, man.
I think
Yeah.
the guys have to listen to this one now because now they're all,
I can't believe I admitted all that on.
You didn't really admit.
on
That's okay. I admitted I had a fucking catchphrase.
Right,
Yeah.
fair.
And I tried doing
We're
it.
all getting it out. It's okay. Well, yeah.
This is just therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The trauma dumping episode.
Yeah.
Just like Magic Mike.
You're
whatever.
totally, yeah. The sunken
We were talking about our
place.
problems.
when I saw Get Out and they were like, "We're going to the sunken place," I immediately thought,
Is that what they
my
say?
high
We're
school
going to
friend.
the sunken place.
Well, no, you know what I mean.
That's
Yeah.
what they call it when he's.
No, I
like,
know, I know.
Yeah, under.
It's just funny to formally say it. I
Yeah.
think.
It totally is.
Vibe check. It's 4:20. Everybody.
Nice.
Smoke them if you got them. Kevin.
Whoa.
Kevin, are you smoking weed again?
yeah. We're doing our Kevin Smith, Scott Mosher
Weekly.
Smodcast. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lampooning it.
But we're both, in this case, we're both Scott Mosher. Kevin, put down the joint. It's time to do some fucking work, Kevin. Seriously.
Kevin, you have a problem.
You have it. Don't tell me I have a problem. You have a
No idea
problem.
You shut up.
Yeah. This is the lore. We're building lore right now.
lore?
Yeah.
We got to appease our one listener on Saint Jean-sur-Richelieu, Québec.
Yes.
Nous t'aimons.
Ooh.
Yes.
Shout out to them.
Nous avons une groupie en Saint-Jean
Yep.
et nous aimons 7 personnes.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now say something in Romanian.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Romanian's funny because it's also like, one of the romantic languages, but similar to Portuguese, it sounds like it's through like a meat grinder or something like that. Like it's very brutal. And I get why people think it's like Slavic, but it's because it's all the same grammar, but with a bit of like communist like to it,
Yeah.
like
Like Quebecois French.
I guess so, yeah, like Quebecois
yeah,
French.
it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Great. We've lost the Romanian listeners now.
Oh no, vina înapoi. Noi te iubim pe toți români.
They're back.
They're
That's
back.
huge.
Yeah.
They're back.
You eating out the palm of my hand.
Yeah. Speaking of eating out,
Yes.
Yeah, actually,
A lot of
Let's go back to
simulated
that.
oral sex. A lot of
Yeah.
simulated cunnilingus.
yeah, I always think that's funny in the strip club routines because I understand, like, I don't know, I guess I haven't been to a lot of strip clubs, but I understand like the like humping and lap dancing and stuff and why that would be like exciting. But the simulated oral sex is funny because it's like, it just seems stressful because you're not actually. Your face is just in someone's closed crotch, and they're like usually they're holding you. There's a lot of like picking people up and spinning them around.
Totally.
And like if you're not, like we were saying, if you're not flexible, you're not like ready to go. What do you could be in a lot of trouble.
Both for the performer and for the recipient. Like you could both you're both in danger of throwing something out.
Yeah.
Also, a female stripper could never do simulated oral sex to a male client. I'd feel like
Yeah, I don't know.
Really?
I don't. What are the rules?
I don't know. I
don't
think
know.
that would get dicey, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I went
feel
to
like you totally could. You just
Could
bob
you?
your head up and down a little bit, you know?
Well, man, maybe. I went to a strip club in Miami for my
Maybe
friend's
that would be-
bachelor party, and they didn't do that. But then the stripper told me I was very gentle. She said I was the most gentle client that she ever had, and I was like,
Aw, you heard it here first, ladies.
well, no, but
Yeah.
but I told her I was like, I'm only gentle until you don't want me to be.
Did you really?
I don't know. I don't
hope
remember.
you
I
said
was
that.
really fucked up. But it was a strange thing. They totally had like an upstairs room, and they kept like trying to pressure you to go. And I was like, she was like, "Do you want to come upstairs?" And I was like really drunk. And I was like, "What's upstairs?" Like the arcade. And she was like, "Do you want to come upstairs?" And I was like, "For sex?" And she was like, "I can't legally say that." And I was like, theoretically, like how much? And it was like $500 or something. So I was like,
Whoa.
500 American.
Yeah.
But it was like Miami's, like one of Miami's best strip clubs. I can't remember the name.
Damn.
What the fuck was it called? Jilly's. It was called Jilly's.
Sure.
I guess I'm curious about what kind of sex you get for $500.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I couldn't
What's
tell
included?
you. I don't know.
You never found out. Yeah.
I never
I
know.
know. I just want to know.
I didn't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to do this. Then she was like, we have an ATM. And I was like, no.
Don't you get a gentle discount?
Yeah. Yeah.
She got $500.
My dick's just as
right?
soft as I am.
Yeah.
Man. Like, come on.
You won't really have to do anything.
Yeah.
But maybe you won't be able to.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It was a fun time.
Nice.
I
We
had
all
an
really
aha moment as well
Oh.
as we were talking.
Hmm.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yes, of
We
course.
were talking about simulated cunnilingus, right?
Yes.
So, and like if it would be appropriate for not appropriate, but weird
do
if like a female stripper was. Why don't female strippers simulate
Yeah.
cunnilingus? And I had an aha moment,
Mm.
which is Because like when you get a lap dance from like a female stripper, right? Like it's more about like it's like about their body. It's like they're the object, right? It's about just them looking like sexy and like stuff. But like when the male strippers are dancing on the women in this movie, it's like what they're doing is like what they can do for you. It's like humping, stimulated, oral sex, stimulated. You know what I mean? It's like what are they doing for you versus like their body being the object. Well, it is kind of that as well.
It's doing what their schlubby husbands or boyfriends refuse to do. You know what I mean? Like
just to put effort into like being attractive.
Pick her up. And eat her out while he's on your shoulders. Yeah.
Exactly. No, totally. The key difference is the patrons, right? Like. I don't know exactly what the rules are, but I don't think there's like like Hustlers, for example, which isn't really supposed to be like a Magic Mike style movie, but you look at it there, it's like the customers that those strippers are dealing with are by and large men and usually are like not really great guys, right? And I think that's kind of the difference. Not to say that if you're a guy and you go to a strip club, you're a bad guy or whatever. It's just that the women that the strippers in the Magic Mike movies are like dancing for, they're all like very into it and they're all very respectful, and there's kind of an atmosphere, maybe not so much in the first club, in Dallas's club, but especially in this one, like these are all sort of like women-led and women-centered spaces where everyone seems to be on the same page about having a good time, and there's kind of not really that grimy, kind of slightly dangerous energy that some like grimier strip clubs might have, where there's a bunch of guys like you're saying, kind of the focus is on the strippers as objects, and it's all about what can you give me and whatever, instead of like the other way around or whatever, you know?
I think it's also interesting that they find fulfillment through doing it, right? Like they enjoy what they're doing. I'm just thinking about like my friend who went to a strip club, like a male strip club one time, and she like accidentally bumped into a male stripper and he totally went off on her. He was like so grouchy. He was like clearly not happy to be there, which like, you know, obviously, right?
Ruins the magic a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, totally. Niagara Falls strip clubs, not the vibe.
Yeah, well, I guess we should also say, like, aside from us not being experts in strippers and so on, but the strip clubs in the world of the Magic Mike movies, like, I don't know.
Totally different.
Well, to whatever extent they actually exist, right? Like, I'm sure there are definitely clubs that are, like, of a higher grade and where people are a little bit, more respectful, and the vibe is a little bit less grimy, a little nicer and so on. But I don't know if, like, the annual stripper convention or whatever in Myrtle Beach, and if it does, like, if it's like quite as lavish a production as
check your guns at the reception.
Yeah, exactly.
No way, you gotta keep those things.
True. Yeah,
keep yourself safe.
Yeah, possibly. They're I will say, like, I think it's because like you mentioned, Dallas, you know, he opens the first movie being like, I see a lot of lawbreakers here tonight, basically giving them carte blanche.
Lawbreakers.
Yeah, to grope to their heart's content.
Yeah.
I definitely like the vibe of this movie's strip. They are more like drag shows almost. You know, there's like a celebratory
more like, burlesque. I think one of you were saying, right? There's more of a performative element to it. And costumes. Yeah, exactly. A narrative. Yeah.
I do like talking about it now and thinking about it. Like, you know, the patrons of these clubs aren't the focus of the movie at all. But I almost wish they had, like, maybe there was one with a bit of personality or something. You know what I mean? Like, because they're all kind of, you know, set dressing, you know, right. for Channing and the boys to grind on.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because shortly after this was released, Steven Soderbergh, who, again, we've talked about, is always on the forefront of like digital technology, he developed a VR video game app where you could be a patron at one of these clubs and put on the VR headset and have Magic Mike like dance upon you. And there's a whole narrative, like what kind of person you are, like you just got dumped, or it was your birthday, or this or that.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, sure it is. Look it up. Yes. In this room, it's true. Until somebody says otherwise.
I was so excited for that. I know. Yeah. I want to roleplay as someone who just got dumped.
We can play Magic Mike.
I was about to get my Ocelot What are they called? The VR headsets? The
Oculus.
Oculus.
Ocelot is a cat.
Ocelot,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a type of
It's a
jungle
little
cat.
jungle
Yeah.
cat. Yeah. Very cute, though. Little
Oculus.
tiny guy.
It could have been
Yeah.
called an ocelot. You put it on, it's got ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
suppose.
cat ears. That's what they need on the VR headsets. Cat
Yeah,
ears.
that's what it's missing.
All right, I've got another question here. This one's for Jesse.
Oh, good.
Is Magic Mike trans? The movie, the Magic Mike himself. Give us a trans reading here, because
Yeah, totally.
that's what trans people
That's
like
what
to
I'm
do,
here
is to
for.
give trans
Okay.
readings of things.
Yeah,
right?
so obviously, yeah, just like everything is trans, if you look at it hard enough and squint your eyes hard enough.
It's true.
And here's my take. Okay, it came to me. They're like that guy is his routine was the firefighter routine, right? Like so masked. They're talking about like cops, whatever, and how that it really isn't even them. It doesn't bring them any fulfillment. And what does bring him fulfillment? Dancing to boy bands, like being his gay little self. His gay little self or his trans little self, you know what I mean? Like, does he have some top surgery scars, like, hiding under there? We don't know.
Under his pecs.
Yeah, that's what I'm
all the
saying. You can't
muscles.
see. And the way that their dicks are all flopping around inside of their banana hammocks at the end, like, they're wearing Packers, man. Those are Packers.
Yeah. You
So
heard it here
that's-
first, folks.
That's
Yeah.
Magic Mike XXL is trans.
Great. All right, well done. Yeah. Well, and that's the trans content we've covered. And,
Jackass,
shove that under the rug.
Jackass Forever is definitely trans. I like.
I
think
love
so.
all the cock and ball torture in
Yeah.
in the latest.
Because they don't.
Yeah.
They don't like have they don't hold the
Have you
male.
seen it?
Oh
They-
really?
It's
you should-
amazing.
really should.
No,
yeah.
I
It's
need to see
they
it.
really go all in.
All the Jackass movies, I think, are like masculinity-based performance art. I've said it before. I'll say
Yes,
it again.
100%.
But I think
Yeah.
Jackass Forever specifically, like, they just have no, regard. They don't hold the male body on a pedestal or anything. They actively
desecrate that shit.
destroy
Desecrate.
genitals.
The
Yes.
penis, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's the first Jackass movie to have a female cast member too. So
Oh,
I
is
think,
there?
yeah,
Yeah.
Rachel
Yeah.
Wilson.
Very
and the new guy
briefly.
is really cute
Yeah.
too, or the new people. Yeah,
They do have some new guys, to take.
She
to
gets to
take
be in a
the-
skit with Eric Andre. I would
She
definitely
does.
let a scorpion do whatever the fuck it wanted to be even close to Eric Andre. Eric Andre!
I saw him
come
at
on
a
the pod.
Bellwoods Brewery once.
Yeah.
He was eating a bagel outside of my work one time, and I was
He
like
was at Schmaltz, yeah.
losing my mind in the restaurant, like, ah.
Eric, you hear that? You come on the pod.
We love you,
We
Eric.
love you. Yeah.
Although
Come on the
he'd
pod.
probably be a very abrasive person.
I wonder in real life if he's probably seems like he's probably nice to people who come up to him and they're like, "I love you," blah blah blah. But I wonder what it's like to be friends with Eric Andre.
I wonder what it's like to have sex with Eric.
Yeah, I know. We all know what you're wondering.
Man.
No, I wonder too. He's probably, people are like, "Oh, he'd be goofy or something." I don't think so. I think he'd take it pretty seriously. Yeah.
Way more vanilla than you'd expect, maybe.
I wonder, or the complete opposite.
Or
Yeah,
just
he's like
as
a total
crazy as
freak.
you'd expect.
he might be a total freak. Yeah.
You should
I would
call Rosario Dawson and find out.
Oh yeah.
I
Wait, are they
never
dating
know
right
for
now?
She smashed Eric Andre?
I don't know if they're currently dating, but they used to date at least. They might
That's
still be
insane.
dating.
Is that before or after she was dating Cory Booker? Do you remember?
Not sure.
Not
Also,
sure?
I might be
Interesting.
wrong.
No,
about
you're always
everything I've
right.
ever said.
That's okay because we have a system at the franchisees
Yeah.
where if you're wrong,
You can come back and make penance for it.
somebody
afterwards.
calls you out on it. You come back on the show and there's a
Filing
yeah, there-
cabinet of torture.
there's a
Oh.
punishment. Yeah,
Don't do that.
but don't worry about it. Someone will have to call you out on it later, and you'll both be back at some point.
Excellent.
Are we invited back?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you screw it up in the next
Yeah.
little bit.
Okay.
We were talking about another movie series that we were all pretty jazzed about, right? Like, what was that one? We mentioned it earlier. We were like, oh, we should all watch that. What was it?
Oh,
Did that
movie
conversation
series.
happen?
Yeah, it did. Don't gaslight me. You know what we do to gaslight?
Twilight?
Oh.
Well,
yes,
I mean, yeah,
Twilight.
I-
We
I-
have to do Twilight.
You can definitely come back for Twilight.
Fuck yeah.
I
Yeah,
would be
100%.
I've never seen
offended
it.
if you didn't invite me for the Twilight because
You will be
I'm
invited.
All
a
5
real
movies.
fan from way back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of them.
Oh,
What?
you have to see those.
Yeah.
They're so good.
You and Hannah showed me them
Yes.
only recently during the pandemic,
Yes.
and I can say they are really entertaining.
That's good.
They
yeah,
are.
I was
Entertaining.
surprised. Yeah, by compared to something like Paranormal Activity, like.
Oh my god.
Also, people really Twilight. Why didn't we program Twilight? That's brilliant. There's so many
Listen,
people.
we made a lot of bad choices.
Yeah,
we
it's
started
okay.
with
It's
Paranormal
okay.
Activity.
It's not my idea.
Oh, wait, yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, Well, I wanted to start with American Pie again to stay true to the original pie.
Yeah, you're right. I did shoot that down because I don't want to watch this right now.
There's a new one.
But eventually. There is?
The new direct-to-video one. American Pie
great.
presents Girls Rule.
Yeah.
Which is going to flip the script.
They've come all the way around.
The woke liberal moralists ruin American Pie.
Yeah, they've taken everything from you. Yeah. Well, this
Is
is
someone gonna like shove her pussy in a pie for that one?
Ooh, or shove
Just
pie in
sit in
it.
it.
yeah, just yeah, mash it up.
Okay, good.
That's great.
Yeast infection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Immediately.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Gotta be
Not to bring it a downer, but
No, that's totally fine. I think now would be a good time to just briefly have a little special sub-panel within our panel discussion. Very quickly. Live from Toronto, it's the franchisees Magic Mike XXL Roundtable Discussion Special Dog Sub-Panel. Thank you everyone for joining us. It's Ben here with a guest, Jesse.
Yeah.
Last night we watched another movie sort of in the periphery of the Magic Mike universe, not directly related to it, but written and directed by Reid Carolin, who is the writer behind all the Magic Mike films, and co-directed and starring Channing Tatum, of course, Magic Mike himself. The 2022 film about a dog aptly named Dog. Jesse, what's Dog
We'll
about?
just fuck off then.
No. It's just, we're just going to do this really quick.
I know.
What's Dog about?
Dog is about Channing Tatum, who's a vet of the war.
A veteran, not a
veteran.
A veteran, yeah.
A veteran veterinarian. No, yeah. And his war friend kills himself?
Yes.
I honestly didn't catch that when I was watching the movie. I didn't catch much of the movie, honestly.
Okay. Pretty
I
blitzed.
dissociated.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so this guy's dog, a very charming Belgian Malinois murderer, needs to be driven to the funeral, but it has PTSD.
And Channing has PTSD.
Yeah.
And they're two broken down
Souls.
war dogs, you know?
Oh, yeah, they are old war dogs.
Right.
Shit.
So when I suggested we watch this, I thought, well, this would be maybe good supplemental material to the Magic Mike movies. And I figured it would kind of be in keeping with the vibe of the Magic Mike movies, the politics of the Magic Mike movies, whatever. And so I sort of thought that there wouldn't be like a lot of military content in it or whatever. But it's actually a really weird, tonally...
It's insane.
like abstract, like propaganda movie, which I guess makes sense. I thought it'd be like kind of low key propagandistic, but it's not. It's very in your face, like.
I could not believe what was happening through the entire movie.
So I don't want to waste too much of our time talking about Dog, but like.
Some of the highlights.
It's an extremely bizarre movie.
Yeah, we got him getting shut down at a bar by a girl because he's trying to pay for her drink.
Oh,
and
wait,
she's offended.
Okay. Okay. So we start the movie, and I gave Jesse a brief rundown about what it's about. Very immediately, minutes into the movie, Jesse was like, "Oh, so it's going to be this whole PTSD thing."
I said it like that because it was a eureka moment that I said out loud because he's on the floor at night having a panic attack, and I was like, "Oh, it's a PTSD thing," you know?
Yeah.
I didn't say it like that.
Well, who do we
I hate
believe?
PTSD or anything.
No. It wasn't quite as dismissive as I made it sound.
There was no eye roll.
No, there was no eye roll.
roll.
There was no eye roll.
No, I'm just dumb and I say my thoughts out loud and my thoughts aren't smart.
It's okay. It's cool. And then he's on a road trip to like deliver this dog to the funeral.
Yeah.
He goes to Portland and he can't pick up any chicks at the bar because he's like a soldier. So whenever it comes up, all the like hippie Portland people are like, "Oh, did you know like you're fighting wars for like the oil?"
Yeah,
blah,
that
blah,
was
blah,
a good
blah,
one.
blah. Yeah, and it's like, oh, like all this other stuff. He loses the dog at one point and goes looking for him, and he gets tranquilized and tied up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In like a scene that's like
This movie is such a fucking fever.
yeah, because it's they're going for like very broad comedy and then very like serious, PTSD style like angst and whatever. So he gets shot with a tranquilizer and tied up by some weirdo like paranoid anti-government survivalist guy played by Kevin Nash, Tarzan from the Magic Mike movies.
Shout out.
And then it turns out that he's actually a nice guy, and he's got a hippie wife played by Jane Addams, and she does like a spiritual reading of the dog, and the dog wants a nice comfy bed. So Channing he goes to a nice hotel, and he pretends to be a blind guy with a walking cane and the big sunglasses and the dog. He gets a free hotel room. He leaves the dog in the hotel room to go pretend to be blind to pick up chicks.
Yes.
And the dog escapes and runs through the hotel, Channing running after him, and the dog tackles and bites a Middle Eastern man because that's what he's been trained to do.
Yeah.
He's a racist.
Got PTSD.
Yeah, the dog has PTSD from the war in Afghanistan, and they have like a DVD-R playlist of the dog's greatest hits.
Yes.
And then when they put it in, the dog's greatest hits, it's all his like it's like his body cam footage of him like
Mauling
ripping
Middle
people
Eastern
apart.
And that's what
Yeah.
the dog watches to like calm down. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and then as I was saying, like at the end, like Channing, this horrible scene, right? And then Channing does this little shtick where he's like, "Oh, I'm not blind. Oh, I can see for the first time," and it's like totally out of left field.
Yeah.
And anyway, the guy ends up being a doctor, and to say like, see, he's like a legit American. He's like, he's like a real
He's one of the
upstanding
good
citizen. Yeah. And he's like doesn't press charges after he finds out the whole veteran sob story, or whatever. But he's still
the veteran sob story being that this dog was trained to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah. So he's in prison, and Bill Burr plays a racist former military police officer who's like, yeah, like it's good that you got the dog to like attack that guy because like I'm racist and stuff, and I used to be in Afghanistan too. He says the phrase "woking America" instead of "working America," which was very funny. Let's see, what else does he do? Channing visits friend of the pod Ethan Suplee at one point. His truck gets robbed, and him and Ethan Suplee and Suplee's attack dog from Afghanistan. They track the thief down, and the thief it's at a homeless encampment, and it's like a homeless guy who broke into his truck and stole stuff, and like they don't really pause for a moment of like, oh, this is kind of an awkward situation or whatever. Channing just like roughs him up and takes all his stuff back, and like
Crime is bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
How dare he steal?
And then his car breaks down in the rain, and he and the dog have to spend a night in the barn, and that is where they make love.
Yeah, it is a very romantic, like Notebook style scene.
Yeah, it is.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
and he ends.
They don't actually.
They don't actually.
I'm very gullible as well. So.
Trusting. We prefer the term
Trusting.
Didn't
Yes.
you get roasted?
I always do.
Okay.
Trusting.
Me too.
Ethan Suplee and Scott Mosier play the same character.
Really?
Yeah, they in Clerks 1, Scott Mosier is the guy who likes being snowballed, so they call him Snowball.
Oh, yeah.
And then Ethan Suplee takes over that role in another View Askew movie.
What's snowballing again? Is that when someone spits your own cum in their mouth, or is it?
No, that's when someone spits your cum back in your mouth.
Okay.
Yeah, like we were talking about all those grade school things where you're like, you're like, oh, that's what sex is, and then you realize it's like, oh, yeah, I mean, I guess that's what you'd call it if you would do that.
Yeah, I mean, some people might be into it. Did you ever watch Succession?
No, I need to get into it.
There's a really funny scene where this like really uptight like vanilla character at his bachelor party, I guess he has that done to him, and then he like comes up to everyone. He's like, guys, like, I just like sucked my own comeback. Or something. He's like really stoked about it. And they're like, are you okay? It's a good show. We recommend it.
I'm sold.
Nice. Yeah.
It took me a second. Like I watched the first episode and I was like, I hate all these people.
Yeah.
And I tried
That's
it
the point,
again
right?
and was way more into it.
I do like Kieran Culkin a lot.
Yeah, like he was the person I was latching onto him, and then in the first episode he does something that's really lame and douchey. And I was like, fuck, I can't like anyone. But then I tried again and got super into it. It's coming back in March. So it's a good time to get
it's
into
time.
it.
It's time to double down and buy some Succession stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullish on Succession. Yeah.
Totally.
And bullish on Magic Mike, I would say.
Yes.
I think the third movie,
I'm excited.
like, yeah, dude, I don't really know much about it. I know, so keep calling him Spielberg. I know Soderbergh's back. And obviously Channing Tatum is back. Reid Carolin coming back from writing Dog.
That's what I wanted to say.
God.
Maybe
where are these politics going?
maybe Reid Carolin was more responsible for Dog. Like, like maybe that was Reid Carolin's vision or something like that.
It could have been.
Because I refuse to implicate Channing Tatum.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
man.
He's damn charming.
Yeah, he and
we talked about how scared I am of how like my attraction to men, right? No boner for Channing Tatum that entire movie. That's crazy.
True. It's true.
That's like the most condemning, damning statement.
I thought it would be like Boner City, and it's
No.
seriously no boner for Channing.
You didn't get a
Not
boner
at
either,
all.
man?
No, nothing.
We were
like,
soft.
Yeah,
Fully.
because it's weird. Because it's weird.
Yeah, and also he doesn't look that hot in the movie. Like something's wrong.
I don't actually think he's like super handsome, but I just love his body and his charisma and the way he moves.
Yeah. He's handsome.
He is. I can
He's
see why
handsome.
people would
He
think
used
so,
to
but he
be.
doesn't do it for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair.
But his body sure does. So
Yeah.
do his moves and his charisma.
He's a paper bagger. That's what you call
Yeah, Channing Tatum. Hey, Channing, do you mind putting on this grocery bag? Like,
Yeah.
I asked Channing Tatum to put a paper bag on. Hell yeah.
But his face.
Yeah, he's a butterface. Yeah.
But his
Yeah.
face.
But his face.
Yeah.
What?
It's
We've
gender.
already decided. he's got the drag queen inside of him, so
He does,
You can
yeah,
clitoral labia.
Yes.
So
clitoral
we can
labia,
say Butterface
yes.
for
What
sure.
are your guys' drag queen names?
I'd have to think on it.
Mine's Mona Moore.
Mona Moore.
Yeah, that could be good.
Yeah, I've thought about this.
Yeah, I don't know. I've dressed up in drag before, but not like in a long time. Not since high school. Which, yeah, it's probably for like Halloween and things like that.
Or a
Like
sunken
not-
state sketch.
Definitely, maybe at one point, maybe something that didn't get filmed, or maybe the guys put me in a dress and then they were like, "We're making a movie," and then they just never showed up. But at one point, I had kind of like a Southern dandy like drag character,
I'm into
but I
that.
don't think she had a name.
A
But she
Southern
talked,
belle.
yeah, she talked like this. It was kind of like this sort of thing.
A
you know?
gentleman
But
caller's comment.
Yeah, exactly. Hotter than Georgia asphalt. But it never turned into anything.
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Do we have any other thoughts on Magic Mike XXL?
Some closing thoughts.
Yeah, something to tie it all together.
Yeah, let's all have a closing remark.
Yeah, let's all have a closing remark. Okay.
Okay. My closing remark. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something to do with the song "Closer" being at the end. That was good.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
It brought me back to being 15. That was like the peak of sexuality for me at 15, I think.
Yeah.
Trent Reznor.
Yeah, cool.
Closer.
Cool. Yeah.
Not legal, so we'll cut that out.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? It's not illegal to want to have sex when you're 15? Come on.
I'm just
With another
joking, yeah.
15-year-old?
I'm just joking. And I hope so.
Don't you dare joke about me.
Well, in closing, I could say that I think it's a better movie than the first one, but I don't think it necessarily stands alone. And that seeing the first one and seeing all this like shit that these guys go through really sets you up for the second one, because then it's kind of like those. And I hate to bring this example up, sort of, but like comic book movies, and they have the first one, and the first one is all the exposition and all the like, this is who Spider-Man is and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man 2, like the
Origin
Raimi
story.
movies, Spider-Man 2, it's like, okay, well, you know who Spider-Man is, you know who Mary Jane is, not this Mary Jane. And you know who like the bad guys are, and so he can just kind of fuck off and do his thing, and you don't have to be like, oh, my body's changing, and like I'm
best
jizzing
part, though.
everywhere. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, so in that sense, and in the larger franchisee sense, I think you could call Magic Mike XXL kind of like a perfect sequel.
Wow.
Because it takes all of the elements of the first movie that work. It removes some of the ones that don't, like the dud. And I think it focuses on, like, the movie is so much about pleasure, and it's about our pleasure as the audience.
That's
And
beautiful.
I think it's one of the most purely pleasurable movies to come out in a long time. It's specifically like in this kind of genre, right? Because like when people think about big, dumb, like pleasure-y movies, you're thinking like your Avatar 2s, or you're like
Tokyo Decadence.
yeah, Tokyo Decadence, yeah, or like or something silly like Megan. We went to go see Megan. It's like that's a pleasurable movie. There's not much to really chew on about that movie, right? It's just for fun.
Other than
it was
Channing Tatum.
It was good. Yeah. And so this one, I think there is some substance to it, and it is insanely pleasurable. So I don't know. I love watching it. Every time I see it, it's really fun. It never loses any of its energy, really.
Yeah. I liked it.
It's all right. I hyped it up too much. I know I did.
I did, yeah.
I hyped it up too much. I'm sorry.
Maybe. It's okay. I still really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed watching it with, a group. Usually it's just me and Ben. And it's usually a pretty sad sight.
Yeah. We're just we're there. We're jerking each other off.
Yeah. We're like, hey, would this be funny? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. It was a real crowd pleaser. I can definitely see how in like a few years these are going to get played at like a review or something, and like people are going to be hooting and hollering.
I think so.
And I do think they're a good 1-2 punch. Like as much as the dud sucked and the dud sister Dudette, she also she didn't suck as much.
She's
as the
not
dud,
as bad. Yeah, but I know what you mean.
I think they're both like they're a good dyad so far.
That's a new word.
Working in as much as possible.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the third one. It'll be a lot of fun.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yes. Make sure you follow on Spotify, subscribe on Apple, and do whatever is on Google. And now over to MJ. No pressure, but the last word on the pod.
Wow. Okay. I liked it.
Yeah. That's all we do. I mean, that's all we're doing.
I wouldn't say I have like the most discerning taste in anything.
Not true. Not true.
Wow, thanks.
Not true.
Thanks. I would. That is just to say that. But I do hate. I don't really care if a movie is good, but I do hate being bored, and I was not bored. So that's like the highest compliment I can give. Really, I was entertained.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about.
Totally.
Sure is. This has been the Franchisees Magical Michael XXL Large Roundtable. Good night and good luck.
DJ Carolin. All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there.